folks, Patrick again here with Soaring Profits, and we just had a discussion on our last video here about the Elon Musk takeover of Twitter and what that means for the rest of the market. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a little bit of information on data, and we're going to plot this out and kind of have a rough estimate of what this could actually mean for the larger market, and if this goes bad, how bad it could go. So, as always, I got my my special friend here,
James. I'm just the cameraman today, and tech guy, so we'll make this work.
Friend. So, James, if we can pull up the graph here.
There it is.
So, as always, we're trading today, and we're looking at tradingview.com. And TradingView is something that all of you folks can check out at home. It's a free service. There is a pay side of it. I'd like to put a link in the bio. We haven't set anything like that up yet, but hope to soon. So what this is this is the Twitter Inc. 1-day chart. So each one of these candles is a 1 day. These are called candles, and they reflect the price action of that stock for 1 day. Okay. So what we're looking at here is a 1 year position of Twitter. As you can see, there's a lot of volatility here. Okay. So Elon Musk is buying Twitter at 54.30. Okay. Right in and around, I'm not going to get that perfect just because my fingers are fat. So right in around here, okay? We can see that this pricing has really dropped off since October of 2021, right? We have this big sideways movement and then massive drop. And this has been indicative of the entire market up until this point. The market right now has been going through recessionary concerns. We've been worried about inflation. We've been worried about a number of different things. So Elon Musk is taking full advantage of this and is looking to get a deal done back here at a 30. This is where he started talking about this. He started tweeting and saying, hey, what would you change about Twitter at a $35 price target? He's purchasing it, like I said, at $54.30, okay? You can see that this price is run right up. Why is it run right up? Well, it seems like a fair bit that there's going to be an opportunity here for shareholders to jump in. Like I said about the last piece here, we have a situation where Elon is leveraging his Tesla stock, okay? So when we zoom in here, I'm just going to go to a 5-day. Well, let's go to a 1 month. We'll have a bit of a look here. Look at this over the last little while. So this is the last couple days. What we're doing is we're seeing that people are getting a little bit risk averse at this 54 level, and it's dropping back down, okay? The reason for this is that we had talk that Elon was buying, and then the board said, well, we're not really sure if we're going to allow it. So we had some rundown, okay? The really dangerous part of this whole takeover is going to be that Tesla, let's go take a look at the Tesla stock. Tesla is being leveraged at a threshold that could leave Elon Musk with his pants down around his ankles. So let's look up here and we'll get to Tesla. So this is Tesla. What do we notice here in the last day or two? Tanking, okay? And the reason for this, folks, is that Elon is doing what we're calling a margin event, where he's leveraging his ownership of Tesla shares, and there's rules around that, okay? And this is something that people aren't talking about. When we see this fall, right, we saw a 10% drop today, okay? If anyone knows anything about a margin call, that's when you are leveraging.
So I'm just going to pause you just for 1 second. I apologize, yep. Pat. You're moving really fast, but you're a little bit above me. Now, okay. I think I know what you're saying. You're saying that he's taken his Tesla stock and
yep.
he's borrowing money from that stock? Is that
so
what
he's
you're
borrowing
saying?
Money against it. So let's say let's say Tesla, Elon Musk owns 100 shares of Tesla. So when we look at this here, the price of Tesla as of right now is $876.42. It's down $121 today, 12%. That's insane. Okay, Tesla is a $600 billion company, so it shed about $130 billion today. That's wild. That's fear. Okay. So what Elon is doing is he owns a massive amount of shares of Tesla. Okay. You got to remember, he's the wealthiest man in the world, and he's borrowing against his ownership of Tesla shares in order to leverage this Twitter acquisition. Okay. When he borrows against this, though, that's set at a certain price target. So Tesla was at $1,000 a share yesterday, right?
Wow.
It's now at 876. So when you are borrowing on margin, it's like going to your bank and getting a line of credit. Okay.
Right.
When you go and get that, there's an expectation that you have a job. There's an expectation that you have an asset that, hey, if you lose that money, the bank's got to be able to recoup their loss. And this is the same with this process. This margin that Elon is running off of is taking into account a certain price that Tesla shares are worth. Now, here's our problem. And this is a big problem. If this continues and we continue to see this sell down, and let's say this gets down into a 25% less, a loss threshold, Elon then is forced to sell. Okay. So the stock market is based on buying pressure and selling pressure. And it's like a teeter-totter. It's an equilibrium. Okay. When there's more buying and there's not enough selling, prices go up. When there's too much selling and not enough buying, prices go down. So Elon Musk, being this massive shareholder, if he gets margin called, this is bad news for Tesla. It's bad news for the entire economy. And the reason that is Tesla makes up a massive portion of the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq and see what it did today in just fears. Ooh, NSDQ. Here, we'll just go here.
So while you're doing that, so a margin call.
Yep.
Like, I am not the marketing guy, so this is going to be very Cole's notes. So market call is when his shares
margin call.
See,
yep.
Right? Margin call is when his shares go down past 25%. Then the people decide that he has to sell his stock to pay what's missing, the difference.
Yep. So what happens is that you have a liquidity event. So people get concerned and they say, yo, Elon, you're a little bit risky right now with my money. We need to do something about this. The thing about it is that you were able to chart this and tell this was coming. Okay. This is the Nasdaq. Okay. What I showed on a previous filming that we'll touch on here is that the Nasdaq was creating what is called a head and shoulders pattern. Okay. We have a shoulder here, we have a head here, and we have a shoulder here. What we do now is we flush down here, and this is where we're creating a neckline. Okay. This whole entire Twitter scenario and Tesla scenario was able to be predicted. That's scary. That's really odd. So these here, I've had booked here since, well, I think 2 weeks. I'm trying to think the last time we did a Nasdaq update. But these were drawn on here 2 weeks ago, and they were exactly what is fulfilled. This here becomes the neckline of the break, shoulder, neckline. And what do we have? We have a measured fall from that neckline almost to the exact bottom. Isn't that weird?
That's wild.
It's crazy. And that's where, folks, there's an opportunity here. When you learn, this is called technical analysis. This technical analysis allows you to predict future events. I didn't know that Elon Musk was finally going to buy Twitter. I didn't know that the deal was going to get done. But what we're able to do is we're able to predict certain things. Now, we have a base here that we've gotten some buyback up. Right here, I'll move this out of the way because this is just predicting the head and shoulder pattern, right? This here, we've got a support level.
Sorry about that, folks. We had a blip of a tech problem. We're back.
We're back.
Hopefully I'll be able to edit this in a way that it'll work.
There you go. Perfect. So again, what we're saying is that these head and shoulder patterns line up in such a way that we could predict 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 days ago that something was coming. There was going to be an event that was going to either support the Nasdaq, right, eliminating this pattern, or an event that was going to break it right down. So here we are. We've got a massive event that has lost 3.5% on the Nasdaq. Okay. This is where things get scary, folks. If this event continues, and this becomes the new neckline, okay, we could see a flush all the way down here. This is massive recessionary. This is stock crash. This is a market crash that we haven't seen in years, okay? Now, if Elon tanks the market, why? Why did he do it? What happened? These are all things that we got to ask. So folks, this is a little bit of TA, technical analysis, that you can tie into some of your trading, some of your options, some of the other things that we like to talk about here. And this is what you guys come for. I think this is pretty insightful stuff.
Oh, I think it's pretty interesting that a week or 2 weeks ago, now the people out there will see the video that you made before this one, but you predicted it. Like, I remember sitting here watching you show me it, and now it's actually in line, and that's very interesting using this equipment that you have.
Right.
I've always known you were a super genius, but now you just proved it.
Evil genius.
Evil.
Right.
Well, you are a conservative.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
We'll figure it out on Twitter very soon, because he'll be able to talk on Twitter again.
Right. Well, folks, again, thank you very much. If you find this interesting, if you think that you're able to, learn something like this, and I want to do some deep dives, like, subscribe, share. Let's do some deep dives on this stuff. And like I've said a million times before, let's make some money together. See what we can do. Yeah. Thanks again, folks. I appreciate it.
Comment on this. If you have a question that maybe Pat hasn't explained, or you want to, know about a different stock, throw it down in this video, and we always look at our comments and get ideas from that. If you have a good idea on a new stock that you that maybe we haven't heard of, and you want Pat to do a deep dive, I think that would be excellent.
Love it. Awesome, guys. Thanks again. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Soaring Profits. Hey, James from Soaring Profits and Pat over here. Aren't those two great looking cartoons?
Now, with that being said, folks, obviously we are not financial advisors, and we're certainly not your financial advisors. We don't know your risk tolerance. We don't know if you got money in the bank. We don't know what your situation is. So when we're having these discussions, we appreciate you tuning in. However, have some discretion. If you make $1 million with us, we're glad to have you. If you lose $1 million, that's on you as well, folks. Let's work together. Let's make some money, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.